Executive Director of Motorclassica, Mr. Paul Mathers. Make it welcome, please.
Thank you, Greg. Well, welcome everybody to this 8th annual Motorclassica. It's certainly been a fantastic weekend. I'm happy to say that we've had record number of car enthusiasts through the show this year. Over 22,000 of you, which has made this a... Oh, watch out for the silverware, Greg. He was trying to steal it. Which means that it's great to be able to grow this show to more and more car enthusiasts every year, and I hope that you'll agree with me when I say it's the greatest classic car show in Australia. Thank you. Regrettably, I have the boring job of going through all the thank yous, so I hope that you'll bear with me because all of these people are very important to this event, and without them, we wouldn't have one at all. So I'd like to start by thanking Ferrari Australasia and Herbert Appleroth and his team for choosing Motorclassica for the 70th anniversary of Ferrari this year, and for bringing, of course, the wonderful and amazing La Ferrari Aperta out to thank Holden Australia, and in particular Sean Poppett and Richard Falazzo for not only embracing their 100th year of coach building here in Australia, or of car body building here in Australia at Motorclassica, but also for providing us with 3 of their incredible concept cars, the Effigy, the Hurricane and the GTR-X. The Effigy, of course, designed by Richard, and boy, is that a monster of an iconic Australian prototype there. I'd like to thank all of our exhibitors. Many of you wonder why you have to go upstairs to have a look at the exhibitors before you come downstairs, I know. But truly, without them, you'd be paying $500 a ticket and not $35. They're here, they're subsidising your enjoyment today, and I hope that you will take some time to meet with them. And should you choose, or should you need their services, I hope that you will consider choosing them first over others. They're the ones that are supporting your favourite car event, and we are very grateful to them for that. And we wish them all the best in doing business this weekend. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Mercedes-Benz, Lorbeck Luxury Cars, Moss Green Auctions, Pommery Champagne, Penny's Hill Wines, Rhino Insurance, Pro Auto Solutions, and Shannon's Insurance, who for the first time sponsored our new schools program. I'd like to thank our army of volunteers from a number of clubs this year and a number of individuals. I'd like to thank you, because without you, my goodness, we would be in all sorts of trouble. I'd like to thank our media partners, 3AW and the Rob Report, the clubs that join us each year, in particular this year, to put on what I believe is truly the best club sandwich display we've seen here at Motorclassica. Truly sensational. I'd like to thank our special guests over the weekend. We've had many of them, but in particular the Holden drivers through the early eras, Colin Bond, Jim Richards, Captain Peter Jansen, Alan Moffat and John Harvey, and of course hosted by our stage hosted by the wonderful, erudite and dulconic-toned Greg Johnston. Dulcitic is probably the word. I'd like to thank our PR team who have been working very, very hard over the weekend and produced some incredible coverage for us on the telly and in the newspaper and on the radio. Mediacom Services led by David Siegel and Vicky DeGeorge. I want to thank my Motorclassica Advisory Board. These are the gentlemen this year that have curated this incredible collection of 117 cars featuring in this year's Australian International Concours d'Elegance, featuring 100 years of Holden, 110 years of Lancia, 70 years of Ferrari, a celebration of Moto Guzzi and a celebration of vintage speedway, I think it's the best collection of cars that we've had. I know some of you do too. So thank you, gentlemen. Led, of course, by my chief curator, Trent Smythe. I'd like to thank our team of both specialist and special judges who have a very, very difficult choice, as you're about to see. Some fantastic cars and motorcycles on display. That team is a team of volunteers. They give their time freely and they put themselves under an enormous amount of pressure to make sure that we are really giving these awards to the most deserving vehicles. That team, of course, led by my good friend John Virgo. I'd like to thank my own team at exhibitions and trade fairs. They're not car people, they're show people. I'm a car person, so thank goodness we've got me here to give us a bit of a chance. But they're an incredible team. They are clearly the best in our industry. They're very young, they're very enthusiastic and excited and professional. And seriously, they make me look good. I just walk around kissing babies. Thank you, team. You're fantastic. Yeah, give them one. And of course, last but not least, I'd like to thank those entrants. 52 motorcycles and 117 cars here in the Australian International Concours d'Elegance 2017. An incredible group of human beings who have dedicated much of their life to the restoration and preservation and custody of some very fine machinery. They're not only to be congratulated for that passion that they have, but also to be thanked for bringing those cars and motorcycles out of the garage, out of the shed, out of the museum, and here into this beautiful building for all of us to enjoy. As a car guy, I love it just as much as you. So to all of those owners and collectors, thank you so much for sharing your vehicles with us here at Motorclassica. Now, before I hand over, I want to make special mention of our charity this year, our special charity, the Peter Mac Foundation. This is an organisation that is doing incredible work in terms of research and cure of cancer. They're local, they're very close, they're Australian, and they're taking Australian research to the world, and they're finding solutions for a disease that is insidious and affects every one of us in some way. Every one of you in this audience knows somebody that has been affected by cancer or will be. And if you think you don't, I am, so you know one now. So please take some time to go and see them upstairs on the gallery level. Make a donation. It doesn't matter how small that donation is. Any bit that you can do to help them is going to help us find a cure for one of the biggest killers that is around today. They do great work. They're to be congratulated, but congratulations won't help them keep going. Only your money will. So I thank you for your support of them. And now, without any further ado, to present the Club Sandwich Awards for today, I'd like to present the very enigmatic, the very enthusiastic, one of our longest term sponsors here at Motorclassica, Mr. Shreko, no stranger to you, Lorbeck.
I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend at Motorclassica. I'm Shreko Lorbeck. Lorbeck Luxury Cars are very proud to be associated with Motorclassica and sponsor Motorclassica, this being our 6th year, and we've enjoyed it immensely, and we want to contribute to the movement that is Motorclassica, and we enjoy it personally. This year being the 70th anniversary of Ferrari meant a lot to us, so we've assembled a great display of special Ferraris out there, and Ferrari being very close to my heart, we put as much energy into it, and you can see that everything that's happened this week, including the National Rally, has been absolutely fantastic, and I hope you've all been able to enjoy it. Club Sandwich would not exist if it was just for Lorbeck Luxury Cars. It's about all the car clubs, it's all the owners, all the passionate people that I've spoken to and met with this weekend and congratulate them for their participation, and many of them are our customers and visitors of Lorbeck Luxury Cars, so we thank them for participating, and I hope that you've all gone out there and enjoyed all the beautiful cars on display and seen the passion that is out there at Lorbeck Cars and also at Club Sandwich. Thank you. Now we have some winners. So, for the Sunday Club Sandwich, the best best club display is the Fiat Car Club. The cars look out there. I hope you all went and saw them all. The best presented car or motorcycle is a Singer 3-door Junior Tourer owned by Tyre Stringer. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you all again next year at Club Sandwich. Thank you.
So let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Motorclassica number 8, award winners at the largest concours event in the Southern Hemisphere. And the first award is for the vintage and veteran category, and in my hand I have the envelope. The two finalists were Graham Simpson with his 1923 Elite 1240 and David Burton with his 1913 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost. And the winner is David Burton, the 1913 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost. Is David Burton approaching? Come on, David, giddy up. Category 2, pre-war classic, UK and Europe. The finalists, ladies and gentlemen, were Chester McKay with his 1927 Delage DM and Joe Wilson with his 1937 Lancia Aprilia. And I'm delighted to announce to you that the winner, the Motorclassica number 8, pre-war UK and Europe, is the 1927 Delage DM of Chester McKay. All the way from Tasmania. Category number 3, pre-war USA and Australia. The finalists are Philip Haxby, 1936 Hudson Terraplane, John Burden, 1939 Lascelles Series 50. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner is the 1936 Hudson Terraplane of Philip Haxby. Now we move on to Category 4, post-war UK and Europe. And the finalists were Anthony Robinson, Jaguar XK150S, George Forbes, Executive Chairman of the Turner Foundation with his 1956 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner is the 1956 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud with George Forbes, the Executive Chairman of the Turner Foundation, for his accepting award. We move on now to the post-war Australia and USA category. The finalists are Adrian Panzerino with his 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air and Mick Hodgett with his 1953 Holden FJ Cordell. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the award is the 1953 Holden FJ Cordell of Mick Hodgett. Category number 6, Modern Classic Australia. The two finalists, Mark Adams with his 1968 Holden HK Premier, Richard Delahoy with his 1973 Holden HQ GTS. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to announce that the winner is Mark Adams with his 1968 Holden HK Premier. Ladies and gentlemen, Category 7, Modern Classic UK and Europe. And the two finalists are Terry Smart, 1970s Mercedes-Benz 280 SE 3.5 litres, and Mike Roddy with his 1967 Jaguar Mark II. And the winner this year is the 1970 Mercedes-Benz 280 SE 3.5 of Terry Smart. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on now to Modern Classic Sports and Performance. And here our two finalists are the Cavallino Motorsport 1972 Ferrari 246 GT Dino and the Phillip Allen's 1972 Fiat Dino 2400. And the winner this year is the 1972 Fiat Dino 2400 of Phillip Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the out-and-out racing category. two finalists, Russell Baker with his 1965 Offenhauser Edmonds midget, and Rod Hunter with his 1940 Richter midget. Some of these are easy to open and some aren't. Anyway, it'll be worth the wait for one of them, won't it? And it's certainly worth the wait for the 1965 Offenhauser Edmonds midget of Russell Baker. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move from 4 wheels to 2. And first up in this category is Category 10 motorcycles pre-war. The two finalists, Phil Canning with his 1940 Triumph 5T Speed Twin 500, and Les Doyle with his 1920 Indian Scout 600cc. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, is the 1940 Triumph 5T Speed Twin 500. Congratulations. Moving from pre-war to post-war category, motorcycle post-war. We've got 3 finalists. Must have been a tough call. The 1955 BMW R25/3 of Bill Arsenakis, the 1949 Vincent HRD Black Shadow of Jonathan Munn, and the 1972 Kawasaki Z1900 of John Clifton. And this year's winner is Jonathan Munn, the 1949 Vincent HRD Black Shadow. I'm happy to be accused of bias, but if there's one class I love, because I'm a hopeless romantic, it's the preservation class. So now, ladies and gentlemen, the preservation class in motorcycles, 2 finalists, Lee Goodall with his 1914 Ward JOP Deluxe, and Chris Sullivan with his 1912 Peerless 500cc. And the winner this year in 2017 is Chris Sullivan with the 1912 Peerless 500cc. That was a very well-known motorcycling personality, Colin Osmond, accepting the award on his behalf. Now, ladies and gentlemen, preservation passed for the motor class. 2 wonderful entrants. The 1965 Peugeot 404 of Robert Pavlov, and the 1962 Aston Martin DB4 Series 4 of Mark Johnson. So perhaps Robert, would you like to come forward? Robert Pavlov with his 1965 Peugeot 404. A special award celebrating 100 years of Holden. The 2 finalists. How could I possibly have forgotten Richard the last time? Thanks so much for reminding me. Richard Palazzo, Chief Designer, General Motors Holden. Welcome Richard to the stage. He's been up here all weekend. It's delighted to see him again. So Richard, I'll read out the two finalists. First of all, a very, very hotly contested class. 100 years of Holden. The 1970 Holden Carrara LC GTR of Gareth Wilson, and the 1973 Holden HQ GTS of Richard Delahouy. And Richard is now going to present the award to Richard Delahouy with his 1973 Holden HQ GTS. And here's one of the most famous names in the motoring industry, celebrating 110 years of Lancia. Our two finalists are the 1951 Lancia Aurelia GT of Chris Long and the 1923 Lancia Lambda of John Duke. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner is John Duke with the 1923 Lancia Lambda. Now, I've asked Trent Smythe, who is apart from being the Motorclassica Chief Curator, is also the President of the Ferrari Car Club, to step up to present this next award because it's celebrating 70 years of Ferrari. And our two finalists are the 2003 Ferrari Enzo of Lindsay Fox and the 1951 Ferrari 195 EL of Ken McKenzie. And it looks like the oldies are the goodie because Ken McKenzie with his 1951 Ferrari 195 EL won. Congratulations to Ken. And accepting of the award on behalf of Ken is Colin. And this time we have another anniversary award. That, of course, is the Motor Guzzi Award. And the two finalists are the 1934 Motor Guzzi 500S of Pierre Harricks and the 1997 Motor Guzzi of 1100. That's a big fight of Paul Baker. And I'd like to ask Pierre Harricks to come up to the stage and accept for his 1934 Motor Guzzi 500S. Have a tired hand shaking hands with me and accepting the trophy. Now this year has been my great pleasure to interview a couple of wonderful old gentlemen associated with Vintage Speedway and relive the memories of the 50s and 60s when it was such a big event in the capital cities around Australia, and still is alive and well today. So the Vintage Speedway Award, the two finalists are the 1940 Rector Midget of Rod Hunter and the 1965 Hoffenhauser Edmund Midget of Russell Baker. And I would ask the owner of the 1965 Hoffenhauser Edmund Midget, Russell Baker, to step forward, please. I'd ask now John Virgo, the chief judge of Motorclassica. We had a team of over 50 judges this year, ladies and gentlemen. What a hell of a task. And I'd like you all to applaud John with his wonderful work in bringing these awards to fruition. Congratulations, John. And John, the award for the Spirit of Motorclassica goes to, drum roll please, the 1924 Lancia Tri Kappa of Andrew Torty. Would Andrew please come forward? Now, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favourite awards because it's the people's choice. This is the award where you actually have a say. No finalists, we didn't know who won it until we counted up the votes. So I hope that Stuart and Sean Morgan, with their 1973 De Tomaso Pantera, are here because they won. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're really getting down to the sharp end of proceedings because now it's restoration of the year. We have the 1913 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, London to Edinburgh Continental, Artisan Coachworks and Vivaldi Works, and we have the 1970 Mercedes-Benz 280 SE 3.5, Reinhard Clares and Associates, and Recreation Automotive. Ladies and gentlemen, the best restoration in the Southern Hemisphere this year was Terry Smart, the 1970 Mercedes-Benz 280 SE 3.5, Recreation Automotive, and Reinhard Clares and Associates.
They were here on Thursday, they fitted the bonnet to it on Thursday. Did they? You should have seen it, the team, perfect numbers, they've been working a few weeks on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, first among equals, the very best in a field of excellence. 2017 Motorclassica Best of Show. And the winner of the 2017 award for the Best of Show is David Burton with the 1930 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, London to Edinburgh Continental.
I just have to say it's an enormous thrill. The public's reaction to the car has been enormous, and this is really the cream on the cake, I guess. Special thanks to my wife for putting up with me for 15 years, because what started as a passion and then became an obsession. But it's a really great thrill. Thank you so much to Motorclassica, to Paul and his hard-working team. A wonderful event, and we're so proud to have it in Australia. Thank you.
Thanks very much, David. And it just remains for me now to thank all of you. You're a wonderful audience. It doesn't surprise me in the least. No one's as enthusiastic as Melbournians. Yet again, you've made the largest concours event in the Southern Hemisphere, also the most successful. So congratulations to all of you, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.